Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Nerd channel. My view of everything nerdy, business, and yeah, just everything. It's gonna change each time at this point. One day I will have an official one, but I'm a busy woman. So, anyways, how are you guys doing? I am. Well, first, take that deep breath. Think about you, remember you, take a moment for you. Because these days, these streets are crazy. Politics is a hot mess. One reason why I drink my petty tea. So let's just say I've been working on so many things, and family was over, and yeah, the past, well, 2026. Ooh, if anybody else is just having, well, I want to say one of those years, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's interesting. Okay. But yeah, if you're having one of those years, I'm right there with you. Take those deep breaths, enjoy yourself, or yeah, just take some moments. Okay. Anyways, let's. I'm talking about business today because doing so much research, and again, I'm saying because a lot lately. Because, yeah, if you're a Disney person, but trying to finish up my official starting lineup for the business. It's so much, especially since I've had so many ideas and now I have so many things for seasonal, monthly, and I'm even working on some for astrology. So, yeah, it's like if any of you guys are especially into like maybe the Gemini, Leos. Yeah, it's like, oh, Gemini's, and like, yeah, if you're a Gemini, it's like normally like there's very few Geminis. I don't know why, but who who if you guys can let me know, like if you're a Gemini, just let me know, because I'm a Virgo. Yeah, I'm a Virgo, so I don't know if that's, but yeah. Um, my ex was a Cancer, and trust me, oh, he was a Cancer in my life. Ooh, yeah, that's a different story for a different day. But okay, yeah, I'm gonna be talking business today, but especially when it comes to demographics. And I mentioned some of the items because while looking at my demographics and who I plan on sending a sample candle to, or candles, because I feel like, especially if I'm like such a big fan, or if especially like Whoopi Goldberg, I've mentioned Stephen Colbert, they're probably going to be getting more than one because of the impact that they've had in my life. But at the same time, I'm a small business. I'm literally starting all of this from my pockets, like while I apply for grant money and all this other stuff. This is all me. So I'm on a very, very tight budget. So many of them will get one, but yeah, I'm gonna cover that later. So with the people that I'm going to be targeting, like most people might not think politics progressives with candles and greeting cards and things, but especially with my novels and my books, most of my readers are probably going to be on the left side of politics. And especially since I'm going to have people of color on top of black, represent, and then disability, LGBTQ plus, and basically anybody and everybody that the right looks down on when it comes to DEI. Oh, you only got the job because you got a disability. You only got a job because you're black. You only got like, nah. So, am I gonna be sending some to white able-bodied men? Yeah, yeah, but is that gonna be my target? No, no. But if they fit the vibe, especially if they are on the left side of politics, you know, they got a shot, they got a chance. So, and it's like, so also, okay, I'm going to be looking at the fashion YouTubers because, like, especially like doing some research and everything. And what I've noticed from my friends, like a lot of my more fashionable friends, they like candles. They love candles. When they go to any of the stores, but not Target now, if you know, you know. It's like they go to the candle section of stores and stuff, smelling and comparing. So I think that might be like a good area to target, but not going to Target, you know. Okay, but then also home, because part of home for many people is the scent and fragrance. And I'm going to try to move up to do room sprays and wax melts and stuff over time, but I got to start with what I got to start with. And then readers, of course, because especially some of my candles are going to be having the scent of the room that's going to be in my novels. And so that's going to be a big thing. So a lot of the people or influencers that I send samples to are probably going to be kind of in the reader nerd area, but I'm going to talk more about that, the nerd area, later on. And then also bakers, since a huge portion of my fragrances, I have the sweeter scent and baker type of scents, like baked goods and dessert type of vibe. Yeah, I think that would be kind of a great, perfect mix, especially if I find an influencer who their favorite dessert is like even chocolate chip cookies, I might give them one of the fragrances that have like a chocolate or chocolate chip cookie vibe, or even like snickerdoodle brownie, like, or if I know they love chocolate, I will find one of the fragrances that has like just a nice indulgent, and I'll try to make sure I know which chocolate, because there's dark chocolate, white chocolate, semi-sweet, and all this other stuff. So I want to make sure I know which is their favorite, to make sure that one, they see I paid attention, and two, I can spark their interest more to even brag or mention my product on their page and things. And then also, it's like I want to make sure I have an emphasis on female, because you normally it's female, like the candles. Some men do too, but like a lot of the guys I know do that because like on date nights or if families coming over and stuff like that. And I will be having a male or bachelor pad collection, so that won't be coming out too like that's probably going to be like 2027 type of thing. Yeah, because I'm one woman. I'm doing all of this. So, but then also when I look at Generation X, Y, and Z, I want to make sure I have something that each one of them, they're just like, ooh, okay. Okay, yeah, I like that. Yeah, let's go. But a large portion of who I'm going to be looking for is going to be, and this is one reason why, knowing the politics or knowing my side, normally the more education you have, the more chance you're gonna be a Democrat. So I will be looking at, like, especially some of the careers, which you're gonna hear a little bit later, that lean towards like higher education. Oh, don't get me wrong, because yeah, there's people like the Orange Man's lawyers and stuff. So yeah, that's why I want to make sure I do my research and I know exactly who I'm talking about into. But yeah, there's certain lawyers that I follow and that I love and adore, that I think I'm going to be sending some some of my scents too. And I know one of them, she not too long ago mentioned how one of her family members sent her one of her favorite desserts. And so I'm like, ooh, I got you. it's like 'cause I have something kind of similar with one of my scents. So, and it's like I think it's going to be more of a seasonal one. So I might wait to send her that one once it pops up for that season. And so also a love for food and sweets. And then, black and people of color, of course, because if you know, you know. But at the same time, trust me, some of our people of color, yeah, this is why research matters and I've got to know. So it's like, and by chance, I might make some mistakes because some, as much as possible, they try not to talk about politics because they don't want to lose either side of their followers and subscribers. And that's probably one of the I mean, there's probably a lot of reasons, but a lot of people don't want to listen or watch me because I talk about politics and the reality of disability and things like that. So, because I'm not scared, Anyway, but especially when it comes to the black demographic, I want them to know black owned business, black female owned business, black female with a disability owned business. It's like some of the fragrances come from the heart and the ideas. It's like I want them to know that I think of my roots, my history, because like with a lot of my scents, they have a little history in them. They have like the ideas that come from the past and the roots of my culture and stuff. So that's one reason why my candles are political. If you've been listening to other episodes, when I say my candles are political, they are. And that's one of the reasons why one of the main groups of people I'm going to be looking for are political, and or they hint at who they voted for or which side or what they think of the orange man in office. I pay attention to all of that. I started a database with all of that because yeah, there was one who kind of surprised me because when I looked at their Instagram, because they don't mention it on YouTube, but then you go on their Instagram, you're like, oh, yeah, like, 'cause they were on my list, but then when I saw it, I was like, "Nope, no, 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 mm-mm." It's like I marked it as red as, "Yep, they fooled me. They fooled me." And so also I have to think about location and mirroring because I've mentioned this before, well, actually on the other channel, but when you have a YouTuber, usually their followers mirror them. And so it's like because either they want to be just like them, or they are a lot like them, or the lifestyles are kind of in some way or form, visible, and the people trust that, or I mean, I'm talking about Instagram, TikTok, all of them, even threads, because yeah, I need to add threads to my list. But yeah, it's like, and also location. I want to make sure I hit people at from different states because viewers sometimes they connect because of where the host is either living currently or where they grew up or moved from, and or their background with how and where they travel, stuff like that. So, and I'm gonna try to do affiliate links. It depends on how things go, but I am thinking about like once put everything together, once all of the candles are finalized with their names, the colors, packaging, marketing, and everything, how can I make sure like I create affiliate links for them because I want to make sure I give them. And also, first, I want honest reviews because if they don't like the candles, not everyone's going to. I hope they do, but that's not realistic. Especially, oh, I already know the people on the right. No, they're not. No, mm-mm. Mm-mm. Especially with my MVP of my candles, they're not going to like me, And so, and that's another reason why I have to make sure that I don't give the false impression. Kind of a great. Well, I mentioned this example a lot, but Harry Potter, the author, made millions of dollars. Is she a billionaire? She's probably, because with all the toys and all the upsells and everything that connect with her book and with the movies and everything, I'd be shocked if she wasn't. But after, that's when she got political. Once she could afford to mind her business or to get out of her business and share to the world what she really thought, yeah, a lot of people were disheartened by that. And I don't want to play that game. I want to be honest, true, genuine to everybody and anybody, And if you're not part of my demographic, I'm not going to try to cheat you out of your money because no, no. If you don't like me, then you're not going to like my candles. So why am I going to do that? So, but I also know I'm on a budget, so it's probably going to be 2 or 3 influencers a month that I send a product to. So, like with my Excel sheet, I'm probably going to have another Excel sheet where I have my game plan of who's going to get what each month. And for some of them, it might go by their birthday. So, because some of them, ooh, they announce it, they celebrate it, and everything. So, it's like, since their birthday is that big of a deal, I think it would be like more of a surprise or more impactful because that they would see, oh, yeah, she watches my channel. She pays attention. Okay, yeah, I get that vibe. And I want to add a personal letter, and I might even, if I start with the greeting cards, because the greeting cards may not be ready yet, but I might either send a note inside one of my greeting cards or with my stationery. So that's all pending. And so I want to make sure with the marketing that I share what makes my candles stand out because I want them to know about my white wax blend and I want them to know how each scent is different and unique from any another company and how maybe maybe not how complex, but how I've added kind of a exquisite bakery perfume vibe type. So yeah, that's kind of the theme of a lot of my fragrances. But with that, I need to make sure it has my mission, my goals, and hopes for my impact. Because I've said in other videos, I want to have like volunteer groups, like especially with my once I get my books back out and everything. I mean, my books are on Amazon, but they're just on Amazon. Yeah. But I'm going to be republishing them and getting them to the point where I want them to be. If you don't know my story of why I quickly did it on Amazon, yeah, check out. I talk about all that on the other episode, on the other channel. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about hopes and the impact that I want to do, volunteer work and stuff like that. And okay, but I really want to get to like some of the demographics that I think I want to cover because I think especially with wedding and event planners, and also people who love Christmas and the holidays. I like, and especially not just Christmas. I forgot. I think it was like between 1 to 300 holidays that go on right in December. I believe it might be November and December, but I believe it's just December. So it's like with all of the other cultures and religions, I really want to make sure that I show them that yeah, your holiday matters too. I love it. So but then food tasters, since my fragrances are going to have a food item in them, especially if I know that they cook or bake or they love certain types, like I said earlier, that might be a good demographic. So I think I mentioned one of the people I'm thinking of a couple weeks ago. And actually, she might be on the top of my list because I know she got injured on her birthday. And it's like she ended up like messing up her neck and stuff like that. And so I might do it like a get well package. And yeah, it's like I'm also thinking of one of the recipes in my cookbook. I might like, I'm still debating, but yeah, I want her to make sure that she knows that yeah, I watch your channel. I love your shows, so but also like I was saying earlier with the education, since the more education you have, the more likely you're going to be on the left of politics, lawyers, doctors, and I'm also looking at gardeners because some of my scents, it's like when I say perfume, it's like it's going to be variety of, yeah, I'll talk about it once they be about it because yeah, I'm I have so many ideas of which lineup, but I want to make sure I have the diversity, some more fruity, some more chocolate, some more has, spice and stuff and everything. But yeah, I need to also make sure, again, I do the research with who is on the right of politics so then I can make sure, like, okay, yeah, stay clear of your, yeah, because the mirroring effect. But I want to make sure with my packages, they have facts, they detail the quality, the branding, the image. And while doing all of that, I need to make sure my website is in order because if they have any questions, I want to make sure the website's going to explain at least majority. If they need to email me or call me, hey, I'm going to make sure I add that in my packages as well so then they can keep in contact with me. And oh, I'm going to make sure also with the disability community, I know rolling with, not Chase, rolling with, dang it, I forgot their names, but they are an interabled and interracial married couple. And I know the wife, she just got pregnant. So it's like I think I might send them, but they're not political. Like they got invited to the White House though, for disability to celebrate the whole disability and everything. But I remember, yeah, they tried to not talk politics, but at the same time, going to that such a big deal, and they do know the importance of disability rights and stuff. So it's like so, but I'm gonna wait until I don't know if they're going to announce if it's a boy or girl. So I might even do one of the candles that would be pink, one of them that's blue, and send it early and just be like, congratulations. Here, like, maybe even in their episode, like maybe in an episode to hint to people you can like this one and like this one if it's a girl, this one if it's a boy, whatever, whatever. So, but I want to make sure I also like hit the gossip community. Ooh, they spill some tea too. Because I already know a couple that I think I would, but oh, one of them's in Europe, so I'm kind of upset. With my like, cause he's so sweet and adorable, and yeah, sometimes like the way he talks about some, I was just like, spill the tea. It's like normally I'm not a gossip person, but over the last few years, once in a while, like some really good stuff happens. And ooh, some of the stuff that's been happening with Jeffree Star lately. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's like, ooh, where's my petty tea at? Where's that petty tea? So, but then he was on Swoop on one of her docs, and I love Swoop. I've been following her since she was doing the makeup, like things, and I will never forget she was getting her hair done at one, and the hairstylist was just looking at her like, girl, you expect me to do all this hair? And so but yeah, some of those makeup artists, I'm like, the no, nope. So, but just knowing how now she's at 1 million subscribers on her main channel, bravo. So yeah, she's at the top of my list. Being an African American woman who is a music artist and a creative, and after everything she's been through, because she's been through some situations with some of these grown men who should have known better, but they didn't. So yeah, we can connect in that way too. So, but yeah, she's amazing. And oh, I really want to hit like the nerd area, especially with video gamers, anime and stuff. So I'm gonna be looking up them, because there was this one YouTube channel that I really liked. It was all reruns, and I'll probably watch them again because they were so fun. But yeah, people playing board games. That was and but it was like it was with celebrities and stuff. It's like it I'm subscribed, but they stopped showing me the videos. Probably because, especially after the Orange Man got voted back in, whole life's been such a hot mess, and like, so I've been watching so much either true crime, politics and stuff like that or whatever. So, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be doing so much more research and targeting and finding my vibe, my voice, because I want, when I send my packages to the the hosts of any of the social medias, I want them to know that I picked you for a reason. I watch you. I know who you are. It wasn't just, oh, you have a high subscriber account. Because, especially like with Swoop, it's not because she hit 1 million. Like I said, I've watched her for years, even when she had to restart. I remember when she had to start her channel over again. I got emotional. I was frustrated and upset for her, because I've seen all of the hard work, and oh, it's like her music videos. I miss her music videos. They were so fun and cute. Like, I if she still has the footage of her videos from back in the day, I'm wondering, can you just, repost that? Maybe even have a third channel with just, the fun music videos that you perform and do, because I like, especially after my surgery, I was working on one of my children's books, and I just replayed it. It's like in some, like with some of her episodes, I needed the song portion. It's like to get a vibe and to listen to and just, smile and everything. So, and so that's one reason why, like, with a lot of the people I send it to, it's because I it's authentic. It's not just, oh, you have a lot of subscribers. No. Mm-mm. And with a lot of businesses though, I know business is business, like, people focus on the money portion. And yes, I want this to make enough to the point where with as a woman with a disability, when I have a rough day, hard day, and I'm in pain, I can stay in bed. Realistically, I can maybe start traveling the world, but be able to afford things that I may need with my disability. I want that would be lovely and wonderful and amazing. But at the same time, I want to be able to donate, like, or go to a grocery store and be like, okay, I want boxes of your food, take it to a food shelter and stuff like that. I want to be able to go, I want to be able to start to, volunteering at Ronald McDonald's houses and different nonprofits and charities and things. So once I can get all of that together and started, that's part of my mission, my goal. That, like, this comes from the heart. Each one of my candles is like, because when you break bread, and especially like when you come over to someone's house, if you want some cookies, it's like you get that grandma vibe. And I'm not a grandpa, no, I'm an auntie, okay? But you kind of feel like family. And with my candles, I want people to feel the love and like family, especially those who feel alone or unspoken or left out and stuff. You feel me? Okay, but thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope to start talking about poetry and art from of different artists soon. I plan on it. But take care. Work on your goals. Don't give up on yourself. You're amazing. You're wonderful. Okay? Bye, loves.